5 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's time for
Craig and Ryland's Magic Review Show. I'm Ryland, he's Craig.
That's what he said, exactly. Guys, welcome back to another review show. We've got 5 tricks that we're looking at this week. There's so much new magic that's been released. The last couple of weeks we've been doing 5 tricks. It's not going to happen every week, but we are looking at 5 tricks this week, including 2 things that have just been released that everybody is talking about. And the first one is a re-release from many years ago, and it's setting the magic world by storm. It's a new Murphy's project. So let's have a look at that first. So the first trick we are looking at is the Perfect Pen. Murphy's Magic is proud to present the Perfect Pen by John Cornelius. Now, I actually had one of these many years ago. I actually had a Perfect Pen by John Cornelius, and they actually, I seem to remember, and I lost it ages ago, which I was really gutted about, but I had another pen as well that was a matching pen, and it was designed for sort of a bill to impossible location, and the bill went into the pen. But I used to do this so much, especially in restaurants, and you couldn't get it for love nor money. And now Murphy's have re-released it, and it is now available on the market again for the first time. Now, this is a pen through anything. It's a very good chance that a lot of people that are watching this have seen a pen through anything. There are several differences with this pen through anything compared to any other one that you've seen. I think probably the first thing that we should do is do a performance. What do you reckon, Ryan?
Yeah.
So I'll do a performance of exactly what this looks like, and then we'll talk about the similarities and the differences between other pens, what makes this so good, if there's any negatives. But first of all, let's have a look at a performance. Okay, Ryan, I'm going to show you something absolutely amazing with a £10 note and a pen, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a £10 note. It can be any note, and the most important thing is that you borrow the note. Sarah, can I borrow a note, please?
Yeah, here you go.
See, I knew she was going to give me a £10 note because now that's all she's got.
It?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we got the pen, we got the £10 note, and I want to show you something absolutely incredible. Now, obviously, there's 2 sides to a UK note these days. These polymer notes, you've got a see-through part there, and on this side, you've got the Queen's face. Can you see the Queen's face?
Yes.
This is all about the Queen's nose, because you might not realise this, but the Queen's nose is actually the weakest part of the bill. It's the weakest part of the note, and if you do this just the right way, you can actually push that pen right through the Queen's nose, which is fairly impressive. Now, the only way to get it out is to pull. Now, the problem is that's going to rip the note, but let me see what I can do. Ooh, listen to that rip. Luckily, there's absolutely no hole in the bill. There's absolutely no hole in the pen, as you would expect, and you can examine everything.
I really like this.
Yeah, he really likes this. He wanted to perform this on the show, but I was like, no, I did this years ago. I want to do this on the show. First of all, well, first of all, let's talk about the advantages over a normal pen through bill. So a normal pen through bill, for anybody who isn't aware, you take the pen, you put it through the bill, boom, then it comes out, that's fine. At that point, if you want to hand that pen out for examination immediately, you need to be able to either switch the pen or steal a gimmick away, depending on the pen that you're getting. Murphy's, Penguin Magic have got a really nice sort of Bic style pen through anything, but you know, the disadvantage with that one is that you do have to steal something from the pen before it is examinable. And also at the beginning, it's not examinable. You have to bring the pen out, you can't have it examined, you have to do the thing, and then and then you have to steal a part out. With this, it's all self-contained. So you bring this pen out, the pen does write, and Javier on the download talks about what to do if the ink runs out, because you can replace it, but the pen does write, so you can actually use this pen to have the note signed if you want to. You then do the penetration, as I say, they can actually sign it with the same pen. You then take the pen back, you do the penetration. As soon as you've done the penetration, you can hand the pen out for examination again. It is literally that clean. There is nothing to steal away. That's the nice thing about this. Now, arguably, you might ask, is that an advantage? You know, because the original pen through bill, it's not like you're having to like switch a whole pen or anything like that. So you might say to yourself, well, is that an issue? I kind of think that this makes things a little bit stronger. The pen through bill is one of those tricks that has been kind of overexposed on various different YouTube channels and on various different places over the years. So having the ability to do it and then immediately hand it out for examination and have the pen examined at the beginning, it means that for people that might know how the original pen through anything works, this will mean that, that they're probably more fooled. What do you think? Do you? I mean,
I really like it.
I know you really like it. It's really cool. Javier does the download. It's about a 35-minute download. Javier, as normal, is absolutely fantastic. There's 3 penetrations. The one that I just went through is the first penetration. Then there's a second one where they fold the bill in half and go down like that, which is quite nice. And the third one goes through the front like this. It's an instant reset. There's no table required. It's ready to do anytime, anywhere. It's examinable. This has always been a really cool trick to do, especially as a lead into a routine with a bill. Because if you're going to borrow a bill and you're going to do something, maybe you're doing a bill to impossible location, if you're going to have that bill signed, it makes sense to take a pen out, boom, you do the penetration. It's a nice little moment of magic before you go into what you're actually bringing the bill out for in the first place. I think the one thing they need to consider is what the pen looks like. And what I mean by that is ask yourself a question. Does the pen, pass me the pen for a minute, Mike. Does the pen match your style? Because this is kind of, it's designed to look like more of an upmarket style pen, like not a cheaper pen. Now, if you're the sort of person that maybe wears a suit to gigs, this would absolutely fit, that's fine. But, you know, are you the sort of person that wouldn't carry a pen around like that? You have to think about your character as well. You know, I mean, you might prefer a bit pen. Yeah, you can't have it examined before or afterwards, but it might fit your character more. So that's something to bear in mind. And also, if you've been doing the pen through anything for years and you've been doing the steal of the gimmick and, you know, whatever it may be, and you've not had a problem with that, then, you know, you might not necessarily need to upgrade to this. I personally prefer the cleanliness of this. I'm absolutely carrying this around with me. It takes up no pocket space. It's just in your pocket. It's ready to go. Now, you've laid claim to this. You're going to steal this one, aren't you? So I can't use this one, but I'm definitely getting one for myself. But you said you're going to do this all the time. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're going to perform this like all the time, right?
Yes.
Is there anything bad about this trick that you don't like? Because you've never seen the pen through anything before, had you? You've seen other versions of bill penetrations through a bill or a note, but you'd never seen a pen through anything before. So he's got no frame of reference. So, like, have you got anything to say about this, or?
There's nothing wrong with it, I think.
He said to me that this is the perfect trick. You know, he said to me, you were like, oh, it's easy to do, there's lots of different ways of doing it, there's no table required, it's examinable before, it's examinable afterwards, it looks really visual, it's what's not to love. And that's somebody who's never done pen through a bill before. And I completely agree with Ryan, I completely agree with you. It is an amazing trick. And I'm so glad that Murphy's brought this out again. It's also reasonably priced considering how it's made. It is very James Bond and clever, isn't it? Like, yeah, you can have this examined, but you're immediately set to be able to do the penetration. So there you go. Yeah, love it. Absolutely great. Highly recommended. I'm so glad they brought this back out because this is going into my act again. It's also going into your act, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what are you going to give it? I'm going to give it 100%. I absolutely love it.
115.
Wow, 115. You know when Ryland likes something, gets over 100%. 115% from Ryan, 100% from me. Very, very good. Let's move on with the next review.
And the next trick is labelled by Taiwan Ben.
Taiwan Ben, labelled by Taiwan Ben, exactly. And this is from Taiwan Ben Magic. This is a very cool gimmick. I really like this, actually. What we have here is we have a card revelation built into the label of a Coca-Cola bottle. That's basically what we have, haven't we? And I'll tell you, I've actually taken this out to a gig with me. I did it in a parlour show the other week. And how I had it is I filled it full of Coke, and I had my table for my parlour show, and I had a little table to the side where I had my bottle of Coke, and I was just drinking this Coke through the show. And then at one point someone picked a card and I got it wrong, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, what's the Coca-Cola bottle? Boom! And I did the revelation. It got amazing reactions. It got really good reactions. I absolutely love this. You've been practicing this, haven't you? Do you want to do a performance of it, and then we'll hear from you what we think? Does that sound good?
Yeah. I've got a pack of cards here, okay?
Yes, mate.
Now, I've also got this Coca-Cola bottle here.
All right.
Okay. Now, whenever I want to, I just want you to say stop. Anywhere.
Stop.
There.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Yeah, got it. No problem.
And I'm just going to put that there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this deck away over here.
Okay.
Now, you see this logo here?
Yeah, show them though, not me.
Rub this and make sure it doesn't come off. That doesn't come off, does it?
No, it doesn't come off.
In 3, I'm going to do something really cool. Watch.
Really?
3, 2, 1. You see that? What was your card?
The 5 of clubs.
See that there? The 5 of clubs.
That is cool. That is very cool.
I really like this, and there's 3 different ways of doing that change.
Okay.
You can rub it.
You can rub it, yeah.
Put it down and turn it round and it's changed already.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've also got one way you shake it.
Yeah, and you know what? When I watched it, I really couldn't do the shake change. I just couldn't make it work.
Me neither.
And he couldn't make it work. And then you kind of changed it and did that swirly around thing,
Yeah.
which I still can't do, but he can. But now, that's my favourite way of doing it. I think that you do that really, really well. So, like, you take the bottle, you show it's set. So you have the bottle there. That's what's really nice about this. The bottle is literally on the table. Oh, it's not there. Okay, the bottle's on the table the entire time. So that's bottles there on the table. You can have it there throughout the whole of your show. And you can have it full if you want to, or you can have it empty. You can be drinking from it like I did in this parlour show. Anytime you want to, you can go into the card force. Obviously, it's always got to be the 5 of clubs, and then you show the Coca-Cola bottle. You go into the change, and people just don't see it coming. And like Ry says, there is 3 changes. There's one where you just rub it, the one that Ryalnd did, which was like that, and then the other one, which I quite like, where you show the Coca-Cola label, you put it down, and then when you turn it back around later, it's changed, which is kind of a delayed thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just really nice. Now, what are you doing?
Changing it.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, so it's now Coca-Cola. Go on, show us your shake change again then. Go on.
Yay.
One more time quickly. Go on.
Yay.
There you go. You didn't even know you'd done it then, did you? Okay, put it that way. Really good. Now, you can combine this with, so if you do something else with a soda bottle, like let's say you do cap in bottle or something like that, or coin in bottle, or one of the cap in bottle type handlings, then you can combine this with that, because this is set and ungimmicked until you need to do the change, if that makes sense. So you could do any other routine with it first and combine it. You could even, if you're doing a card routine, you could even do sort of a card and a box style routine, or a card and a drink style routine with the bottle. So you can have the card going under the bottle, the deck going under the bottle kind of routine. It'd be like that. And at the end, as a kicker ending, you can turn it around, show Coca-Cola, and rub and have it turn into the card that you've been working with the entire time. So there's a lot of different ways that you can incorporate this into an actual performance. The download is about 15 minutes long. That's all it needs to be. They cover the handlings in great detail. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. It's really good. I didn't know whether I'd actually do it or not, but as I say, I took it to a parlour show. I don't think I'd make a feature of this out of my act, if that makes sense. I don't think I'd build this up to a, like, oh my God, this is amazing. But, you know, you've got it there, you're drinking from it or whatever, and then you get into a situation where you do this and you just change it as a nice offbeat moment of magic. I really like that, because I think as a magician, you should be able to do magic with anything.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you want to be able to do a magic with a soda bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got anything else to add? It's just really good. Really like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 90%. What about you?
I'm going to give it 95.
95%. He really likes it. Is it going on the YouTube channel?
Yes.
100%. Okay, it's going on the YouTube channel. 95% from him, 90% from me. It's another good one from Taiwan Ben. Let's move on with the next product. Okay, so the next routine we're having a look at is Flyyy, which is a ring flight and pocket master prediction by Julio Montoro Productions. Okay, we know you don't like it. We know you don't like it. You really like Flight by Illusionist and Steve Reynolds, don't you? I mean, if you go back and look at the review of Flight, Ryland loves Flight. He's been doing it for a very, very long time. And you do that all the time, don't you? Like, you've got it on you. He's got his keys on it and everything. So he loves Flight. So it's, first of all, I'm not going to say he's biased, but he does love something else that does something similar. But we're going to give this a completely unbiased review. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. What we have here is a ring flight. So But what's interesting about it is it's a ring flight where the keys are put into the hands of the spectators at the very beginning. So at the very beginning, you get somebody to hold on to the keys. You then take the ring, it disappears, or in the case of Julio, he has it turn into an ink circle on his hand. You then make the ink circle disappear. And then when they look back at the keys they've been holding on to, the ring is there. Now, it also is something called the Pocket Master Prediction, which we'll get to in a minute. But first of all, let's do a performance of Flyyy. So I'm going to do a full performance of this for you and show you exactly what it looks like, and then we'll talk about the pros and the cons. Right, I'm going to show you an amazing trick with my keys. Can you cup your hands together for me, please, buddy? I'm going to put my keys right there, but we'll get back to them in a little bit, okay? Now, Sarah, I need to borrow a ring. Have you got a ring I can borrow?
Yeah, here you go.
That is amazing. Thank you very, very much. Ryland, do you see the ring right now?
Yeah.
Would you like to see a good trick or a miracle? It is totally your choice.
Miracle.
A miracle. Well, you've got to keep an eye on the ring for me. And do me a favour, can you put out your finger? Stick out your finger like that for me. And I'm going to put these here and bring your hand up. Very good. Now watch the ring very carefully. All you have to do is say the word go.
Go.
See, when you say go, what happens is that ring disappears, which is a good trick. Do you think that's a good trick?
Yeah.
What happens is it travels invisibly, and you've been holding onto the keys the whole time, and yet look here, right here, dangling off the keys, we have right there, check it out, it is a ring. Sarah, does that look familiar?
It does indeed.
Is that your ring?
It is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now you don't like this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a fan, and I'll tell you why I'm not a fan. I'm going to give you very reasoned reasons as to why I don't like this. So first of all, I think the trailer's dishonest. I really do think the trailer's dishonest, because at the very, very beginning, there's a voiceover that says, hey, you put the keys into the hands of the spectators. You take a ring, it disappears. When they look back at the keys, the ring is there. And that's actually not what happens. That's not what happens at all. If you just listen to that part of the trailer, then you might be deceived into thinking that's what happens, but that's not the case. What actually happens is you put the keys into the hands of the spectator. You then take a ring and hold it in your hand. You then pick the keys up for no reason whatsoever, put the keys back, make the ring disappear, and then the ring is on the spectator's hand. Now, to be clear, and I've told Ryalnd I'm taking the lead on this review, if that's okay, because I've got several points I want to put across with this. To be clear, the concept behind this is quite a good idea, but the execution is woeful. Because and I'll explain why, but first of all, let me explain what the Pocket Master Prediction System is. It uses the same gimmick that's on your keychain, but the difference is you're doing it as sort of a prediction. So you have somebody think of a country, you write it on a piece of paper, you show them the country, and on the keys that they've been holding is a key fob, and the country is written on the key fob inside the actual key fob. So that's the Pocket Master Prediction System. Now, both of them revolve around the same thing, and anybody who has thought about this for half a minute will realise what's happening here, in that you are loading something onto the keychain once it's been given to the spectators. My problem initially when I watched this is there is zero justification as to why to do that, and it becomes really transparent in the Pocket Master Prediction, because when he's actually doing the tutorial, during the actual tutorial, he's like, right, okay, put the keys down on the spectator's hand or onto the table, and then you do whatever it is that you're going to do, and then you pick the keys up, just shake them around, and then put them down again. That's what he actually says on the tutorial. He says, just take the keys, shake them around, and put them down again. He doesn't even give you a justification on the tutorial as to why you're actually picking them up.
Say then, you could say, now watch the keys.
You could, but that you're bringing focus on the keys at just the wrong point. Yeah. In the case of the ring flight, you've done the vanish. The focus should be here. A couple of seconds later, you're going to be going back to the keys. You don't want to, at that point, want to be picking up the keys. Now, during the ring flight thing, he kind of goes, oh, you can pick them up and put them onto the spectator's finger like you saw me do. But that's not real justification. Oh, right, okay, so, I've already been holding them, but now you want me to hold them like this just after you've taken the ring and held it in this hand? There's no justification there. It is really bad routining. Now, you probably could think this through, And you could probably think of a way of doing this. So, for example, off the top of my head, you know, I'm going to put the keys on the table over there. Let me take the ring. Very good. Now watch. I'm gonna drop the king, and I'll just push the keys to one side. Look, I'm going to take the ring, and I'm going to drop the ring right here, and you're going to see it disappear. Maybe, but none of that is gone through. None of that is gone through on the download, and I was really hoping that I would hear something that would justify this, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, I saw this problem coming before I actually even started looking at the tutorial. I was like, well, okay, the issue here is what's going to be your justification to go over to the keys? And there is zero justification, and spectators aren't stupid. I think we need to understand that spectators aren't stupid. You get if the selling point of your trick is you put the keys onto a spectator's hand and then you say that you're not going to go near them again and the ring's going to disappear, and then look back at the keys and the ring's there.
And you went near them.
You don't want to go near them, but you have. I mean, what's the difference between that and doing a standard ring pull type thing, or a flight or something like that, and going, hey, look, I've got this ring. I've also got this keychain. Can you hold on to that for me for a minute? Great, now focus on this. What's the difference? Because in this version, in Flyyy, yes, you're putting the keys into their hand from the beginning, but then you're picking the keys up again to put them back in their hand. At least if you use a ring flight revolution or a flight, you've got the ring, you're taking the keys out, you're putting them in their hand. It's the same thing, really. With flights, you know, you could actually load it and put it back down again without actually... I just really don't like the fact that they didn't approach that massive glaring problem. And it's worse with the Pocket Master Prediction, because with the Pocket Master Prediction, you're showing your keys, you're putting the keys down, and you're putting your keys down, right? And there's no key fob on the keychain. There's no key fob on the keychain. And then you're doing this whole thing. You're taking a pad and you're telling them to give you a city or whatever it is presentation you want to use. You're writing this down, and then you're picking up the keys again for no reason, according to the tutorial. You pick them up to jangle them to then put them down again. What? You got no reason to go near the keys at that point, but you are going near the keys. And then a second later, they look back at the keys, and now a key fob has appeared. And yeah, you could go, well, they won't see that there's a key fob there. But even Julio in the download, he goes, now, during the Pocket Master Prediction, he says, now, when you put the keys in the spectator's hand, don't focus on the keys, because you don't want them to look at the keys. You don't want them to see the key. So that's my main issue with this. When I went into this and I watched the tutorial and I hadn't made up the gimmick, because there's a bit of arts and crafts, nothing too major, but there's a bit of an arts and crafts. Before I'd made up the gimmick, that for me was the main issue. That for me was the main problem. Do you know what I mean? And you and I both spoke about that, and I was like, this is going to be a problem. And I'm sorry I'm talking over you in this one, but I really want to make my point. So that for me was the issue. Especially with the Master Prediction, because you've got a key fob appearing from no reason at all. And then I actually went to the trouble of making the gimmick up. Now, I have seen that there's a couple of magic dealers that have given this very favourable reviews. A couple of magic dealers have and that's fine, that's their prerogative. Everybody's got their own opinion. But I can't understand why you would give this a good... I want to know if the people that have given this good reviews have actually gone to the trouble to actually make this thing up and try it out. Because I have. I have gone to the trouble. And you know this because I've just performed it on Ryalnd. And I'll be honest with you, how many takes did it take before I could actually... Normally, when I'm doing a review show, it's one take. That's how come I can bang out so many videos. One take, one take. How many takes did I take to do that trick, that ring trick?
So many.
I did about 7 or 8 takes. And the reason is, and I'd like to know if the people who have given this a full review have actually made up the gimmick and worked it. Because when I worked it on Ryalnd, I worked it on Thea, I worked it on Sarah, I actually took it out and showed it to the neighbours. I've shown it to a few different people. There is a major glaring problem with this gimmick. Now, obviously, I don't want to give too much away, but I think anybody who's watching this knows that there's a magnet involved in this at some point, right? I think that's fairly obvious. And the whole idea is, it's meant to be, one of the things that Julio talks about on this is it's a seamless pickup. So in other words, you've got whatever it is that you need palming, you just pick it up in order to adjust it and put it on the finger, and then that's all the case is. But that's not all it is, because a key fob is full of metal. There's metal everywhere. So I was finding 1 in every 2 times when I was putting the keys down in the spectator's hand, the gimmick was attaching to the key fob. And if the gimmick attaches to the key fob, then you're in big trouble. Because if the gimmick attaches to the key fob, now when I go down and do that pickup, it's not going to be smooth, if at all. Because I'm not going to be able to immediately do what I need to do. it's going to be very, very difficult to do what I need to do, if not next to impossible. So I'm going to be picking up, and now I have to, and you have to do it in one hand because you've apparently got a ring here. So you have to do it apparently in one hand. And if you've got yourself fumbled up when you've put the key, and even if they move their hand, if you put them in their hand and they just move their hand slightly or drop their hands or do something like that, that's going to maybe cause the gimmick to attach to the key fob. And if at that point, you're going to struggle to do the pickup move. But then it's the same with this because there's metal all over the other part of the gimmick as well. And for anybody who'll know this, knows what I'm talking about. So when you do the ring thing and you get the ring in position, it's very easy, once you've done the vanish, it's very easy for that gimmick to get caught up on another part of the thing. So that when you go and pick it up, it becomes really awkward. Now, maybe that's that I've just not practiced it enough, but I have spent like 2 weeks practicing this and I've got better at it, but it's still not 100% reliable.
I'm going to give this 0%.
Well, it's still not 100% reliable. That's the problem. And then you get 2 gimmicks with this. One of them has already broken. One of my little gimmicks has already broken after a week of practicing through no fault of my own. So you put all of that together, I just don't think this is a step forward. And calling this a pocket master prediction, the master prediction is one of the greatest stage predictions of all time. If you don't know it, the box is hanging from the ceiling and you bring it down and you predicted everything from during the show. The only way this would be like a master prediction is if the master prediction involved a table being on the table with nothing on it, and then later on you go, oh, do you remember that box that's been sitting on the table? And all of a sudden a box has appeared. Then it would be identical. But I just don't like it. And I nothing against the creator. Julio seems like a nice guy. But as I said, this is a clever idea. And I know he's been saying he's been working on this for 4 years. This feels rushed to market to me. This feels rushed to market because there's no discussion about justification as to why you're picking up the keys and dropping them back down again. There's no justification. There's no talk at all about how to deal with the fact that a giant key fob has just appeared on your keychain. There's nothing on there about what to do if you get tangled up with the gimmick because everything is made out of metal on your keychain. There's no talk about that at all. It just feels rushed to market. It just feels like it's a really good idea, but the execution is really sloppy. And I don't understand why you wouldn't have spent a bit more time on this to come up with some sort of justification for picking up those keys and then dropping them down again. Because I'm sorry, picking up the keys and putting them onto somebody's finger is not justification. You know, okay, I'm going to let you hold on to the keys from the very beginning so I can't go anywhere near them. Now I'm going to hold on to this ring. Now can you do me a favour and stick your finger out? It's rubbish. It's just no good. I would much rather stick with any other ring flight.
0%.
Yeah, I'm giving it 0% as well. I really don't like it. I don't think it adds anything to the market. I think it's fiddly as hell. I think that the people are saying that they are going to do it. I don't think they are going to do it, to be perfectly honest. The only advantage is you can put it on your own keychain. You can put it on your own key fob. So you don't need something like a Ring Flight Revolution where you have to have a bunch of keys with you. You can put it onto your own key fob. But then again, you can do that with Flight as well. By Flight. By Ring Flight Revolution. Both of those are so much better. 0% from me, 0% from him.
And the next trick is by Masuda.
Yeah, this is really interesting, isn't it? It's kind of a little bizarre
You just
trick.
lost the
This is.
packaging.
I
So you don't know
can't-
what it's called.
I can't remember what it's called. It'll be on the screen. Can't remember what it's called. It's by Masuda. It's kind of gone under everyone's radar. It's only just come out recently.
I love it.
You really like this, don't you?
I love it.
He's putting this straight into his Climax wallet. And this is going to become part of your everyday carry, isn't it?
Yeah.
What it is it's a balancing trick. But unlike Balance by Joshua J and all these other versions, all you need is a card in your wallet and you're ready to go anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you want to perform it first of all,
Yes.
very quickly? Okay. I'm going to get Ryland to perform it and then we'll talk about what we think about it.
I've got a cube, a pack of cards, and a card with suits around it, clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds, all the way around it.
Okay?
Okay? Now, you know when you balance something against something like that,
Yeah?
it will stay.
Yes, it will.
Unless you take the thing off like that.
What?
Look.
What?
That will just stay there. Okay? That's weird, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Look, some people think it's magnets, so I'll do it on the side. But then some people still think it's magnets, though. They still think it's magnets. they think the deck is magnetic, so I do it on the table. Look,
Okay.
I'll even try it with a playing card. You see that there? Look, I'll try it with the cube as well. There.
That's funny.
I can balance this card on anything at all. You have that?
And can I examine that?
Yeah, you can examine that totally. This is amazing. You can see it from all sides. I'm going to keep this one. You're going to get your own.
I'm going to get my own, yeah. It's a very simple gimmick. I mean, the nice thing about this, there's a version 1 and a version 2.
I'm sure you can make this gimmick.
Well, no, you can. You get the instructions on the download for both version 1 and version 2. The difference with version 2 is it's examinable, and it teaches you how to actually make this out of your own business card. So you just watch the instructions. It's only a 10-minute download, and watching the instructions, it teaches you how to do this very, very quickly, very, very easily with your own business card. So what you just saw Ryalnd do with just that's the card that comes with it, so you can practice. When you've got it down, you can make your own business card, and you can do it with your own business card. So you can reach into your wallet,
and
say
the gimmick, you can just make your own.
Well, you could do, yeah.
Shall I show it then?
No, but are you kidding?
Yeah.
Can't believe you done that. I'll do a rant on you in a minute. Absolutely not. You can, but the whole point of this is, and what's really nice about this is you can have it in your wallet. You reach into your wallet, you show the card. It can be a business card. You can be just about to give this business card out and say, well, let me do something with this. You can do what you saw Ryalnd do. You can balance it on anything. I like that moment at the beginning where you balance it and you're actually balancing it against something, and then you take that thing away. And then people can look at it. It's completely angle proof. They can look at it from every angle. You have to be careful of the lighting considerations. It's absolutely fine. What you don't want to have is really dark with like a torch on the gimmick. That's probably the only thing that you need to be aware of. But other than that, you can look at it from all sides. It looks really good. And you can balance it on absolutely anything. And immediately you hand that card out to be examined. And then if you want to give that card out, that's fine, as long as you can do, as long as you've prepped a few business cards, you can give that card out. And even though the business card is prepared, they would never find anything with it. I mean, you could they could have that business card forever and they'd never find anything with it.
Yeah, like
and
this. Look, this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a normal business card. It's gimmick.
Well, yeah. It's not a business card, but
No, it looks like a normal card.
it looks like a normal note card.
And it'll take you like a minute to make a gimmick up. So you can make like 20 or 30 of them up in half an hour, and then you can give those out and you're good to go, or you can put it back in your wallet. It's about a 10-second reset, isn't it? If you want to reset a new business card, 10 seconds and you're done. And it's really nice. Anybody who's performed one of those balancing style effects, I'm currently working on Angelo Carbone's Card Castle trick, which I bought the other week. And I absolutely love. I mean, that's a very different thing because that's something that you're going to need to do from parlour. It's not something that you can do in a walk-around situation. But anybody who's seen that sort of routine where you're balancing something impossibly, it's a...
The way it's bent, it just looks epic.
It really does,
Like
doesn't
the
it?
way it's bent like that. It's like, how are you balancing it if it's bent like this? It's like bent.
This is like one of your favourite tricks that you've seen in a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are you going to give it, Ryan?
I'm going to give this probably 100%.
100%. So hang on, it's one of the best tricks that... No, don't set it up now. Put it over there. He's trying to set it up under the table so he can do it again. I know exactly what he's
So I
doing.
can show you how it tilted.
They saw the performance a second ago. So you're giving it 100%, right?
Yeah.
100%.
No, 110.
110.
Yes.
So 100.
I really like it.
He really likes it. 110% from Ryalnd. I'm giving this.
My tricks are the good ones.
I'm giving
I've got
this.
the good tricks.
You have got the good tricks. I've got some.
You've
good
got
tricks.
some good tricks. The next trick will be good, and the first trick was good.
Yeah, exactly. There's only
The
one bad trick
perfect
this week.
pair. Yeah. One
Okay.
bad trick.
I'm going to give this 90%.
But all of mine are good.
Yes, they are. Shut up. 90%. 100%, 110% off him, 90% off me. It's not very expensive. You'll learn it in a few seconds. You can carry it around with you. You can do it anytime, anywhere. And it's one of those really nice things to do with a business card. I can see myself doing this at a networking event when I go networking and I'm meeting people and giving out business cards, doing this very quickly on their phone and saying, here, let me take your phone, let me show you this. This is really weird. I think this is great, yeah. So 90%, well worth buying. Now let's look at the final review.
And the final review, we have got DNA by Magic Stuff.
DNA by Magic Stuff, absolutely. And apparently this is a kind of an offshoot of their Cupid trick. I haven't seen their Cupid trick before. But what this is basically, if you know Sun and Moon, if you know the Sun and Moon coin set, which Roger Klaus put a lot of work into back in the day, this is a version...
I think you should perform this one when we do.
Okay, I'm going to. Absolutely, I love this. This is a version of the Sun and Moon coin set, but with paper clips, which is a really clever idea. Now, one thing that I talk about on this channel is having things that are part of your everyday carry. This is great for your everyday carry. You just take a little folded up card, put it into your wallet with a couple of paper clips on it, and you're set to do this anytime, anywhere. And let's be honest, paper clips are the sort of thing that you would expect to have in somebody's wallet. You know, paper clips and stuff like that are the sort of thing that you might have in a wallet. So you just go into your wallet, takes up no pocket space, takes up no wallet space, bring out a couple of paper clips and you're good to go into this routine. Now there's lots of different, the download for this is great. It's all done to music, but there's instructions that come on top and there's some really nice moments in this routine. Download's really good. It's more of a toolkit, and what I mean by that is there's several different moves you can do with this set, and then you can take those moves and combine it.
And there's different paper clips.
Yeah, there is, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But you can combine these moves into whatever routine that you want to.
Do you want to perform it?
I will do. So they teach you the moves. They teach you like 5 or 6 different moves, and then they give you an example routine. But then they kind of go, well, now you've got the props, you've got the moves, create your own routine. I'm going to perform the routine that they teach you on the download. So this is actually the routine that they teach you. I'm going to perform that for you, and then we'll go through what else is on the download as well. Yeah. So, Ryan, I'm going to show you something with 2 paper clips. Can you see the 2 paper clips here?
Yeah.
We've got a gold one, or a brownie gold and sort of a purple one. 2 paper clips all together, right? Yeah. Now, what I want you to do is hold your hand out for me, buddy. I am going to take the gold one, squeeze it tightly. Squeeze. There you go. Turn your hand over. You hold on to the gold one. I'm going to hold on to the purple one, yeah? Now, watch this. If I just snap my fingers when I do, I've got the gold one. Open up your hand. You've got the purple one. They actually change places. Now, maybe you didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't tell you what the effect was going to be, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, this time you know exactly what's going to happen. So hold your hand out for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gold one again, squeeze it tightly, very good. And I'm going to take the purple one. Now watch the purple one. If I rub it on the back of your hand, when I do, it turns gold. And if I've got the gold one, open up your hand, you've got the purple one. Now, every time I do this, it gets more and more confusing. But I'm going to do it for you one more time, but I'm going to do it in the test conditions, okay? So once again, do me a favor. Can you hold out your hand for me? I'm going to give you the gold one. Can you hold your hand up for me, buddy? Thank you. Squeeze the gold one, turn your hand over. Now watch, I'm going to do this one-handed. I'm sitting down, so I'm not going to put my hand in my pocket. I'm going to put it over here out the way. Do you see the the purple one, yeah?
Yeah.
Squeeze the gold one tightly. Give it a really tight squeeze, so I can't get to it. Now watch the purple one. If I do this, it changes into the gold one, but that's the first part of this amazing trick. Do you see the gold one? Yeah. If I do this, now it turns back into the purple one, but hang on a minute. Hold out this hand for me. You squeeze the purple one in this hand. So the purple one in this hand, gold one in this hand. Purple one in this hand, gold one in this one. But if I snap my fingers, in your hands, they change places, and you can examine everything. So in this set, you get, I mean, that's a really great routine. First of all, I'm a big fan of copper silver style routines, and that's all happening in the spectator's hands, and it's structured in such a way, it's really nicely structured. So every single time you open up your hand, it's examinable, and at the end, everything is examinable.
Did you make that little card, like folded card?
Well, I just took a double blank card and folded it up like they told me to in the instructions. But yeah, what's nice about this is you get a whole bunch of paper clips for this. You get some gold ones, you get some purple ones, and you get these as well. I don't think all of them are here. Now, you get a couple of gold ones, you get a couple of purple ones. You also get some really nicely made gimmicks. This is a gimmick, it's really nicely made. It is gold on one side and it is purple on the other. But it's been done in such a way that when it's lying in your hand, you can't tell that the other side is a different colour.
This
It's
one
great.
had gimmick as well.
This is my favourite gimmick. Now this is a half and half. So on one side it's purple and gold, and on the other
so
side
you could
it's
say,
purple.
I've got, hang on.
Well, no, we're not going to go into that now. But what you can do,
you can say
you can do,
melt them together.
you can. Well, no, what they do is they do a slow motion change. So they think this is the gold paperclip, and then what happens is you actually start to turn it purple, and then when you put it into your hand like this, it turns purple all the way. So it's really nice. Yeah, so you get lots of gimmicks that you can play around with. Lots and lots of gimmicks. You get 2 of that, 2 of the other one. That's a gimmick as well. As well as the gimmicks, you get a whole stack load of moves. There's a move on the download that you'll see. There's a move on the trailer where they just take a paperclip and put it there and snap and it changes. And I've been practicing that and I can't do it yet. So I didn't. But the nice thing about this is you can take the moves that they do teach you that you can do and create your own routine, if that kind of makes sense. So just because I can't do that main move doesn't matter, because I can practice it and I can keep practicing it. But in the meantime, I can still go and perform this by doing other moves. So that's what's really nice about it. I really like this. You love this, don't you? I mean, you've been...
Give this 90%.
90%. Yeah. If you like... this reminds me a little bit of Greg Wilson's routine from many, many years ago, Freaky, where he took copper silver and he turned it into a key trick, which was an incredibly clever thing of Greg to do, and everybody went gaga for it. This is exactly the same thing. What we have here is a copper silver coin routine built into paper clips. So as I say, it works great just shoving them in your wallet. But if you work in an office, for example, let's say you're a hobbyist and you work in an office, just amazing to have those gimmicks with you, and somebody walks over to you and says, "Hey, you do magic? Can you do me a trick?" Yeah, let me grab a couple of paper clips. I've got these. Very organic. Yeah, I love it. I mean, what I like best about this, I love it when projects give you a whole bunch of ideas and moves and then say, "Hey, run with this and kind of come up with your own routines." And I'm already playing around with wild coin style routines and other stuff that you could do with this. So yeah, I really like this. I'm going to give this 95%. What did you say? 90%?
Yeah.
So 90% from Ryalnd, 95% from me. It's not very expensive. It's flown everyone's radar. And the other nice thing about this is it's really super fun to practice. So yeah, highly recommended. Go grab it. It's called DNA.
And that's another review show in the bag. Yay! And that's a review show in the bag. Yay!
That is another review show in the bag. Guys, thank you so much for joining us once again. There's some great tricks this week. I wouldn't recommend Flyyy, but everything else is pretty good.
4 good tricks.
4 good tricks.
Bad trick.
Well, 4 good tricks, 1 bad trick. At least that's only our opinion. Doesn't mean that we're right, but that's what we think based on looking at the products. Do me a favour, guys. Leave us a comment down below. We love to read your comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let's get a dialogue going. You okay? Yeah. Also, don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back tomorrow on Thursday with the magic stuff. And a shorts at 2 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock I've got a live. Ryland's going to be on his YouTube channel. You can follow Ryland at The Kid Magician. Just go on Ryland the Kid Magician on YouTube. And also, we'll be back next Wednesday looking at a whole bunch more stuff, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You okay there?
Yeah.
You all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You burping? Yeah, I thought so. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
See you next week. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.